Morning, sir.
Hi, Krishna.
Good morning, everyone. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Vishwa.
Good morning.
Hi, Bindu. Good evening, I think, for you. Done. Hi, Raghu. Nagarjuna. Rakesh. Sai. Raviteja. Shiva. Rafi. Naveen. Mahesh. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Just give me a second, sir. No, I was actually give me just a second. Let me share something and show you this. Yeah. Do you see my screen share?
Schedule.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so I've put the curriculum is there. Please go and download it on the website. Attendance and lab tracker might happen by Wednesday. We saw some challenges. We are finishing it. Yesterday I was on it, making some more changes. We'll keep you informed. 2 sessions I missed. I forgot to upload on Friday. I'm really sorry. I think you would have used on the weekend. But anyways, I have done it now. Please go and verify. Next one on the study material side, I'm releasing it today. 1 second, sir. One content, only one topic is there. Remaining will be coming. Virtual machines and scale sets and containers. Okay, so these 3 topics will be there, and what all labs would be there in it. You can start working on the lab. So from Wednesday we'll do the lab part. Okay, so this is just give me a second, sir. So ready? Then so with that, so today what we will do, we have got in virtual machines, couple of things are pending, sir. In virtual machines, few things are pending. So let's try to complete those things, and which is nothing but let me go and create some virtual machine, 1 or 2, or maybe 1. Okay, our batch name number I gave RG. Yeah, so I'm creating a virtual machine, KD test VM, a Windows virtual machine. Okay, and I'll keep it in preferably South India, and no infrastructure safety not required. Windows operating system I will put for a reason, and then we'll put the username, login password, and rest all options will leave it default. Okay, and I'll go to disks. I'm selecting standard HDD, go to networking tab, advanced, delete the IP, and rest all I'm leaving default. Public IP I'm selecting. Go to management. I'll turn off automatic updates and keep manual updates, and go to monitoring. I'll disable the monitoring, and the rest of the story you already know. So a VM is getting created. Now, the demos which I want to show you now is storage related. That means we are going to start first 10% of the storage topic today. Okay, actual storage will start from day after tomorrow. So first 10% of the storage today and tomorrow. So what is that is what you will see. Just bear with me for a few minutes. And I apologize. 7:30 is the class time. 5 minutes buffer max, but it's been going 20 minutes above and beyond for the last week. But that correction will happen soon, sir. because of a crucial topic going on in the morning batch. You're aware, right? We have a database batch, then the Azure batch, then another database batch. So that's how the overlay is. So just to give you a heads up: DB batch, Azure batch, DB batch. Okay, sir. And this weekend we also have a great news, which I will share shortly with all of you. Great news from an Azure admin perspective, and little partial, not so good news also. So the call volumes of Azure has kind of slightly dropped. This is what we are observing last 2 to 3 weeks. The call volume, normally if you get 4 calls or 5 calls or 6 calls a week, now we're getting 2 or 3. Okay. Now again, this is based on 2 weeks pattern. We can't conclude, so we still have to observe the pattern and decide whether call volume has reduced or is it just a temporary halt. So I'll keep you informed, sir. And by the way, one more important thing: any update, because right now recession is around the corner and we all know it. It's not just on the news, but it's everywhere. The recession would be higher impact for US, and I think Bindu, you would have already sensed the heat in US, if I'm not wrong already. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's there.
Yeah,
I think.
the heat is already there. And when it comes to India, yes, we have mild impact at the moment, but I'll keep you informed. So anything, by the way, I'll be the most transparent. If calls have completely nullified or zero, I'll say let's stop the batch. So I'll be so transparent with you. Okay, no false promises, no false appearances. If call volume is completely reduced, we'll stop. If call, we'll halt it. And call volume is moderately going good, even 3 weeks, 3 calls per week is sufficient enough, sir, if you really have to crack the job. So just keeping you informed. Done. My assurance, I'll keep you transparently informed. I'll stand on my words. Okay, then go to the source. We are on the virtual machine now. There's a good news which I'll tell you later. The partial not so good news is call volume 6 calls per week is like 2 to 3 calls per week at the moment. Okay, done. Here we go. Yes, sir. Move on. We are going into disk section now. See, virtual machines, we know how to connect to a virtual machine. We know how to play with a virtual machine. There are some areas which we have not covered still. Let's go to disk section. So first, let's do one thing. C drive 127 GB is very less, right? Technically, sir, 127 GB can fill up soon.
Yeah.
And if you install more applications, it can definitely fill up soon. So the ideal idea is, sir, can we do something to increase the space of the C drive? Yes, we can. Just click on the C drive disk, sir. And on the left-hand side, you have size plus performance. And there, right now, you're on 128 GB, which is 127 GB. You can always upgrade to 256 GB or whichever 512 GB if you like. So I'm upgrading and click on save. But unfortunately, if you do that, so it will not work. Reason, the VM is running. So to a running VM, to an active VM, you can't just increase the disk whenever you want on the fly. Not possible. So obviously what you have to do?
We have to power up that.
Sorry, sir?
We have to power up that one before.
Yeah, we have to turn off the machine, correct? We have to turn off. So we have to stop the VM, which I'm doing now. And then you do this. That means that downtime will be there. So increasing the C drive, especially, one second, sir. Other than C drive, if you want to add a new drive, adding a new disk,
Not required.
let me show that also. That can be done on the fly. But existing disk C drive, moreover operating system drive, if you want to increase it, sir, downtime is compulsory. You have to stop the VM, which I did. VM is still stopping. So please wait for a few minutes while the VM stops. Just a minute, sir. VM is still stopping.
Restart.
Raviteja, I think I almost 40% I found the answer. In scale set, one more VM is getting added, right, sir? Extra, second VM. The answer is two things. It's doing average of CPU. I'll answer that question, sir. Then I think I was doing some research on the weekend, found some clue. But I'm still further researching on it. I'll keep you informed. I'll show the demo.
Okay,
Every-
Deepak.
Two CPUs. Remember, in scale set, when 90% CPU reaches, one more VM was getting created. In a uniform model, sir, not flexible model, uniform model, one more VM was getting created. Technically, only one VM was supposed to get created, but two VMs got created on that day when we were doing a lab. So that is the point I'm talking about for scale set point of view. I'm still just checking on it. I'll keep you informed. Sir, all recordings are available. So please, when you find time, go and review them, check them again. So you feel comfortable. That's all I'm requesting all of you. Okay, done. So VM is stopped. Now go to where? Go to
Disk.
disks. And in disks, please open your C drive. And please go to size and performance. And so, by the way, graphically also it is possible. Same way, command, CLI is what we call command line interface. CLI is also possible. Through CLI also, you can modify this one. Through a command, I mean to say. Okay, then if I'm upgrading it to 512 GB, sir. Click on save. So now it is saving. Please watch. Your disk is getting upgraded from 128 GB to 512 GB. Downtime is updated, sir. Completed. Now close this. Go back and start the VM again. Yeah, VM started. Now let's connect to the public IP. MSDSC. Just a minute, sir. It's connecting. So one important point, if it is not connecting, sometimes it is not connecting. No worries. I mean, we'll have to cover this topic we still did not cover. Double check whether 3389 port is enabled or not. Yes, it is enabled. Okay, then I think it should connect. I went into networking section, sir. When networking topic comes, we will talk. Okay, done. The VM is connected. So 1 minute. Go to my computer and see how much will be the disk of your C drive. Size of the disk. It should be
512.
1 second. Just a minute, sir. Loading. So how was your weekend? Did anybody do anything different? Or same boring weekend?
Full of rain. Raining, raining, full of rain.
Yeah, it was in Bangalore too. So love the climate. I watched Jamtara, sir. Jamtara. A web series called Jamtara. I am a fan of part 1. Obviously, part 2 was okay, good, okay. I don't watch web series except Jamtara. I don't watch any other web series, and I feel like waste of time. So once you start, it doesn't end, right? That's why. I'm sure many of you are fans of web series, but I am actually not. Cricket and web series don't go well. So 1 minute, so it's still loading. Anybody watched any web series recently? Anybody finished any web series? Just asking. Any interesting web series you found? Somebody said that medicals related some web series is very, very good. What is that?
Doctor.
Doctor. Is it okay?
Yeah, Mr. Doctor or something.
Okay. No, one of my friends was saying. Done. Sorry. My computer. Yeah, here he goes. Oops. Array. It is still 127 GB. Yeah, because so in Windows by default, it will not auto capture the space that you added. So you need to go to disk disk mgmt disk management.msc. Go to disk management.msc. You have to go and expand your volume or else it will not work. Let's see, look at this one, sir. So 116 GB or 127 GB is there, but 385 GB is unallocated, not touched. So please select your C drive, right click and say extend volume. So if you have not done this in the past, again I will go slow, I'll not rush. So first of all, if you go to my computer, it is still showing 127 GB. Okay, so now it's time to expand by ourselves. So by the way, but KD, this is job of Windows admin, right? So in Azure, you have to manage everything. So it's our job only, right? Expanding, going and adding a disk space in cloud is not sufficient. If it is Windows operating system, you need to come to, you need to hit on disk management.msc. Disk mgmt management.msc, and after that you will see a C drive of 127 GB and 385 GB unallocated. So right click on this one and just click on extend volume. Extend volume. When you extend the volume, sir, hit next. It will ask you, hey, there is another 390 or 385 GB. Oh, yeah, I want that. Okay, hit next and click on finish. Now the disk volume will be extended. Now you go to my computer and see, sir, you will see 500 GB disk storage. Any questions anybody have? So this is how disk expansion we will do in real environment. I'm not talking about any lab environment only. I'm talking about real environment also. It's done the same way. In some companies, people use CLI command. In some companies, people use graphic. Again, it depends on company to company, person to person opinion. If you want to see CLIs, please wait. Can we move on, sir? By the way, 1 minute. This is C drive, right, sir? Shall we add a new drive now? So I have a requirement of adding another drive, K drive, M drive, N drive. So I have two, three additional drives I want. Okay, chalo. Let's do that also, sir. Let's go to Azure portal. Go to your virtual machine. In the virtual machine, go to disks. In the disks, this time, you're not changing your operating system disk, sir. Refresh it once. Now it is 512 GB. Can you see? Now you can add an extra disk here. Create and attach a new disk and call it as disk 2, second disk, or maybe I'll call it as software.
DB disk, software.
Or software disk, or maybe I'll add one more disk. Software disk, I will keep HDD itself, HDD. Maybe we'll add somewhere around how much, sir? Maybe 256
128.
Okay, or whichever is good, 256 GB. And then you can add one more disk if you want and call it as, for example, database. Database disk. So this one, I want SSDs because for database purpose we are using, right? Or I may use for application purpose. So whatever purpose you're using, please select depending on you want standard SSD or premium SSD, whichever you like. So I'm going with premium now. In premium, I'll select 256 GB as well, sir.
So if you wanted to, add the existing D drive, wanted to increase the size.
Meaning I didn't get you.
No, already you have a D drive, right? The temp drive or something.
So
I wanted to, yeah.
You're talking about D drive, right? So everyone in Azure by default, sir, by default, oops. So in Azure, by default, whether you like or not, whether you want or not, along with your C drive, one temporary storage, temp storage, D drive will be created, sir. That cannot be increased. That cannot be touched because it is mainly there for temp space.
Okay.
So this will remain standard and we can't touch the D drive.
Okay.
Okay. So it's by inbuilt in Azure. Done. So what I'm saying is this will be E drive and maybe this will be F drive. Okay, that's also. So 125 GB, 256 GB for software, 256 GB for data disk. We're adding extra. Click on save. Now, by the way, sorry, sir, forgot to tell you one more thing. Do you see here one more option called attach existing disks? So I have an existing disk, sir. Already disks are available with me, some disk. I can attach those disks also. Let me show you that as well. So let me go to, yeah, these two are added now. Let me go to home and type disks here. Disks. Disks is a service in Azure. Disks is a service in Azure. So I can create a disk with irrespective of VM, sir. VM is there or not. I can create disks and keep them for future reference. For example, just watch this. I am creating a KD special disk. Okay, sir. My special disk. Okay, then I'll keep it in South India only and availability zone none. It's 1 terabyte, sir. Premium SSD will cost me more, so I'll go for HDD. So HDD 1 terabyte. Okay, KD special disk. I repeat, sir. HDD 1 terabyte. KD special disk 1 TB. 1024 GB is 1 TB.
It can be in any region where we can add it.
So for example, okay, then let me put it in Central India. Okay, then that region is different. This region is different.
Yeah.
It will not be. Okay, let us do it, sir. Encryption, networking, public, advanced, so review and create. So South India is my VM, Central India is my disk, as Vijay asked me to test it, so I'm doing it. So one terabyte disk I have created. So this disk I am creating irrespective of virtual machine, right? I'm just creating a disk and keeping for future a hard disk. Like a hard disk, you're keeping and you're keeping it aside. I can connect this hard disk to any system, right? Like that. So it's independent hard disk, just like that. Okay, now the disk is ready. The disk is ready. Do what now?
Go to the VM.
Go to the
and try
virtual
to add.
machine. Yeah, whichever virtual machine you have, test VM. In that, go to disks. And so this time, previously you created 2 disks, right? This time you will attach an existing disk and do a down arrow. It will not show because that is located in Central India and not in South India. So the disk also must be in the same region. So you're not seeing it. So I'll go back again, go back to disks. Now create the disk again.
Can't we change the region?
Can we change the region?
Not possible, sir. The disk is already created there. We can't move a disk from one region to another. No, not possible. Pakka not possible. So KD new disk, new disk. And South India, 1 TB. I'll keep HDD, then SSD, 1 TB. Click OK. That's good. So now encryption, networking, advanced, nothing. Just go and create. This time, this disk will be added to our existing. So create as many disks as you want. Add them to the virtual machines whenever you want. Or remove them, add them, play them, increase them, decrease them. So it's all your choice. Sir. So storage is a very, very, very important topic. And outside 1 minute, sir. I'm showing one slide now immediately after this topic. Storage is a vast one. Storage is a vast topic. Got it? And we have to discuss a lot of topics under storage, like what are disks, what type of disks are there, what are the families of disk available. I'll show you just a minute. Yeah, disk is ready now. Help me, sir.
VM.
Go to virtual
SVM,
machine.
disk.
Go to disks. It's
Attach and etc.
Yeah. This time you're not going to create as we discussed. You're going to attach a disk and down arrow. Hey. This VM is in which location, sir?
South India.
Correct.
It is on the left hand side.
Yes, it is. Then it should show up. Surprising. Surprising.
So just type that KD something.
One second, sir. Disk is created, right?
Yeah.
Let me double check once. KD-new disk, right? It should display there in the list only. I'm surprised. Okay. Let's go back and see.
It will take some time. Wait for a while and refresh.
Yeah. No, it should come out. Yes, we'll see.
Resource group.
Which one? No, sir. The resource group is same. It's irrespective of resource group. Both are. It will come up, sir. It should come up. Let's wait for a moment. As Ravi said, it should come up, sir. Absolutely, it should come up. It will display here.
What if resource groups are different?
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Understood. 1 minute, sir. The challenge here is here premium SSD is selected. No, but again, that's true. But if I pick my actual disk, it will change to HDD. So the disk should come up here, sir. Let's wait for a minute. You can't type also. It should come up by its own. Yeah, sorry. What was the question?
What if resource group are different? Can we add the disk?
So, as we discussed in the beginning sessions, right? Disks can be in one resource group. VM can be in another resource group. No problem. This VM can access that disks and all that. Irrespective, all are in the same region. So a resource group and accessing resources have no connection at all. It will come up, sir. Please give me a minute. It should come up here. It will come up. It must come up. Sure. This should not take so long. Okay, so let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. Let's wait for a minute. Let's give it some time. Okay, we'll come back. But again, have you understood, sir, how to add a disk? And so now in this, you can attach a disk. I repeat, sir, you can attach a disk. You can add a disk. Now go to virtual machine. Did I shut down the VM? No, I did not shut down the VM. And are you seeing the two new disks, sir? They will not come up. They will not come up. So you have to go to disk management, and it will give you a pop-up. Hey, I found 2 new disks. Yes. Click OK. So by the way, there are two styles of partitioning. Whenever you create a disk, right? Any disk, sir. 2 styles of partitioning. First one is called as MBR, master boot record. Second one is called as GPT. So it's like called as GUID partition table. 2 types of partitioning. Whenever your disks are more than 2 terabyte size, right, sir? 2 TB size. Please go for GPT. Don't select MBR. GPT is a modern style of file system partitioning. MBR is an old style. And moreover, if your disks are more than 2 terabyte, definitely you have to go for GPT. MBR doesn't support more than 2. So anyways, as a best practice, what will you select? GPT. GUID partition table. See, please read. The GPT partition style is not recognized by all previous versions of Windows. That means it is the latest one. MBR is the oldest one. Okay, sir. Now I'm seeing disk 2 and 3. Here you go. Disk 2 is how much? 255 GB. This is HDD. And disk 3 is how much, sir? 255 GB, which is SSD. So right click here. So please watch. Right click here. Just a second. Right click here. New simple volume. Hit next. Next. Pick a drive letter, please. Whichever you like. MN, M and N. I'm picking M, sir. And this is for what? Softwares, right? Softwares. Click on next. Finish. So disk will be ready. And second one, so one more disk. Right click on the disk. New volume. Hit next. Next. N was the plan. M and N. Hit next. And this is for what, sir? Database or whatever other purpose that you want it for. So that's it, sir. So like this, you can create the disks and drive letters. This all I'm adding on the fly without restarting VM. If you're expanding a disk, sir, it requires a restart. If you're adding a disk, it doesn't require any restart. So done. 2 disks are ready. Now go to my computer and see, sir. You will see M drive and N drive. And where are they coming from? What is the source of the storage? Source of the storage disks. Azure, correct. So Azure is giving that storage for us and we are mounting it here. So the source of this storage, the base comes from which data center, sir? South India. In South India, Microsoft has got some. So by the way, like VMs, virtual machines are created in physical machines. I told you. I mean, 1 second. Azure Data Center Storage Rack. So look at this. Like virtual machines are kept in a storage rack, right? Physical servers. These are all servers. Example, I'm saying. So these are all servers. These are all servers like that. For storage purpose, storage racks will be available. I think I'll better show you how a storage rack looks like. 1 minute, sir. Not this one. 1 second, sir. HP 3-power storage. Yeah. So look at this. It's nothing but a group of hard disks. These are all hard disks, sir. Each is one disk. So this is how a storage rack looks like technically, a whole rack. Like servers have server rack, storage is present in storage racks. You're creating an SSD disk, right, sir? Whenever you're selecting SSD disk, SSD racks will be there, meaning all these hard disks are SSDs. If you purchase if you select a HDD rack, sir, HDD server, HDD database, it will go and pick from HDD rack. So in Microsoft data center like this, thousands and thousands and lakhs of storage racks will be available. So whenever you create a disk, sir, the disk will be created somewhere in one of the hard disks, a virtual disk. It's also a virtual disk. Any questions anybody have?
Yeah, is there any limitations of creating drives in a VM, HVM?
26 drive letters are possible because one C drive is taken, sir. Total 26. English has 26 drive letters. So C drive is taken, D drive is taken, right? So 2 gone, 24 more you can create. That's the limitation. And one more thing, sir, you should also ask this question. What is the each drive max capacity? 32 TB. Each disk you are creating, right? If you go to the disk and see, sir, go to the size and performance, max size will be 32 TB. So you can add n number of disks, not n, 24 disks more, each will be 32 TB. One more thing, sir, one more thing. There are different types of disks. I will talk about this little later. One more option is there called Ultra SSD, which supports up to 64 TB. Normally 32 TB is the limitation in Azure. Ultra SSDs will give you 64 terabytes of space, sir, which we are talking mostly tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah.
KD, what is the chargeable for this?
We'll talk, sir, because
Right.
costing also we have to discuss. We will see how much will be the cost and some facts. But today,
Yeah, so once you add a single disk, that also is a cost charge, right? If it's 2 means it is double for the we are taking, correct, right?
yes. So now we are paying 6 rupees or something per virtual machine, right? 6 or 7 with the licensing saving option. So or maybe 12 rupees you are paying per hour. Now, when you add 2 extra disks, sir, you have to pay extra for that those 2 disks. So 12 rupees might become somewhere around 14-15 rupees, something like that per hour. Assuming it is 1 CPU, 3.5 GB DS1B2 machine. If it's a higher end machine, you have to pay even more, sir. Okay, so now, but all in all, in simple words, disks is the topic that we are talking. I'm sure you all understood by now, right? So watch one slide, sir. I just want to show you one slide. Okay, done. So watch one slide. Can we attach one same disk to multiple VMs? Very good question. Excellent question, sir. Kiran,
There's no slide.
and I'm
there's no
showing,
slide.
I'm showing it. There's a question from Kiran. So can I take a disk and attach that disk to multiple virtual machines, sir? Meaning my disk will be available in VM1 also. The same disk must be available in VM2 also. Meaning, Kiran, can I take the question like this, sir? Can I share a disk between multiple VMs?
Yes.
Yeah. So answer is yes, possible. But we will do that topic a little differently. In cluster, we'll be building a cluster soon. In clustering topic, when we build it, there we will discuss. Yes, shared disk is possible. One VM can be one disk can be shared between 2 VMs. Sir. Absolutely possible. Wait, I think if the curiosity exceeds, then let us go ahead and go to disks once. Disks once, create a new disk, sir, just to show you the option. Yeah, so yeah. Do you see, sir? But KD, previously when I saw it was not there. Okay, 1 second. So if you select HDD, whatever GB, 1 TB or something, in HDD, so meaning for normal hard disks, disk sharing is not possible. Got it? If you go for
Premium SSD.
SSD, sir, let's go for standard SSD. Standard SSD, I'm selecting it. Available. If I go for premium SSD, obviously for standard it is available, for premium also it will be available. For ultra SSD also, meaning for SSDs only it is available, not for HDD. So answer is yes, sir. I should click on yes, shared disk, and then it is asking with how many machines you want to max share it. So the disk will be available in multiple VMs. So more about that I will show you later, just because anyways Kiran asked the question, so I was just showing you. So I'm doing max 5 shares, meaning 5 machines can, 5 computers can access the shared disk. How to use, when to use, where to use, please wait.
KD5 is the maximum number. That is
5 is 5. Max shares are 5 at the moment. So this, yes, I saw it somewhere. 5 is the max shares at the moment, sir. If you want something in the backend, you can talk to Microsoft support team. Increase is possible, but 5 is the default option. Yeah. See, for a P30, P40, P50 disk, it's 5 shares, because that's the, so mostly P30, P40, P50 disk is what we use mostly. If you go for higher disk types, disk sizes, then you can go for a bit 10 shares also. But for this P series, it is the max. Okay, done, sir. Can we talk about, so shared disk? Will we talk about that later? Is that okay? So we are not talking about shared disk concept right now. So if disk, thank you, Kiran. It was a good question, sir. Now, so I want to show you one slide, and just watch this, sir, and tell me. It's loading. Just a second. Yeah. Done. Sir, first of all, we all know what's IaaS and PaaS, right? We all know what's IaaS and PaaS. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. So under infrastructure as a service, compute also comes, like virtual machines, scale sets, whatever we discussed till now, containers, right? So no, sir, containers don't come under IaaS. Well, they come under PaaS because they are managing everything, right? We are not managing anything. You are just creating a container and using the container, where you have full control, right? Okay, anyway, sir, virtual machines come under what?
Yes.
Infrastructure as a service. Scale sets come under infrastructure as a service. Everybody knows what's a scale set. Hope everybody knows what's a virtual machine. Obviously you are. And then also what is container. So storage also comes under infrastructure as a service. Done? Okay. Now, sir, in storage, if you observe in storage, mainly total five categories of storage are available. I repeat, please listen carefully. 5 categories of storage are available. 5 categories. What are the 5 categories? Disks is one category, which you saw just now. So disks is one type of storage. Additionally, sir, I can create something called files. Files is also one type of storage. Additionally, sir, we can create blobs as one type of storage. Blobs also are called as containers. Oh, not our that container, sir. Blob internally is sometimes called as container. Blob also is sometimes called as container. That's a different container, not our container concept that we have learned. Tables is one more storage, sir. Queues is one more storage. So in simple words, if I have to explain, sir, storage is a big concept in Azure. In storage, you have disks, you have files, you have blobs, you have tables, and you have queues. Different people use storage for different purpose. People using virtual machines mostly use what? Disks. People using file shares, I will show demos gradually through the week, we will see the demos. People using file shares will use files concept for file share. People using, if you want to store a picture, video, document, and anything in clouds, like Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, different options that we have. So like that, sir, blobs is one type of storage in cloud where you can upload your photos, videos, documents, whatever you like. And then tables is one database, sir. We'll talk about that. And queues is one more messaging system. So in simple words, if I have to conclude, different people use the storage for different purpose. I might use it for a different purpose. You might use it for a different purpose. So we are discussing what topic right now? Still we are in disks right now. So file, blob, queue, table, we will discuss again. First, let's complete everything around the disks, understand the disk concept completely. Then we will go and talk the remaining 4. Are we good? So there is a lot to talk about disks. This is just the beginning, as I said. If you all are ready, I'm just moving forward. So give me a minute. Phone is dying. Okay, so let's move on. So end of the day, whether it is a disk or a file or a blob or a table or a queue, all these are built on the Microsoft strong storage system. Got it, sir? So meaning the racks and so-called storage racks in all the data centers, especially in South India, which we are talking about South India right now, Chennai data center. So or Central India, which is Mumbai, not Mumbai, Pune data center, and Hyderabad coming up shortly. So that's it, sir. So I mean, it's built on the strong storage foundation of Microsoft. So just give me a minute, please. Yeah. So now, everyone, as I said, blobs, data lake, Mongo. So if you want a complete list, this is a complete list. If you want a complete list of storage, where it is used and all, that's a long list. We will talk about that list a little later, but yeah, let's move on. So now, first of all, before discussing anything about disks, 2 things you should know. First one is storage account concept. I will talk about storage account concept, definitely not today, but first let us talk about everything possible about disks. And once we are done with the disk discussion, sir, then we will talk about storage account. Is that okay? So first we are talking about disks as a concept. 1 second, I'm just putting it on the screen. Yeah. Everybody must understand that disks are of 2 types, sir. But KD, we did not see that anywhere. Correct, sir. You did not see the options anywhere. When we were creating disk, blindly disks were getting created, right? In the background, sir, which you would have not observed, there are 2 types of disks, unmanaged disks and managed disks. And I want to show demos of both. And a very, very common interview question, sir. What is difference between managed disk and unmanaged disk? When to use managed disk? When to use unmanaged disk? Which one is more benefiting? Obviously, managed disks are benefiting, but cost will be a little higher. So 2 types of disks are available, sir. Unmanaged disk and managed disk. Continue. First, let's talk about managed disks. I have only a few slides, but then we'll go back to the demo. Sir, if you and I look at a managed disk, right, sir, it looks like a disk only. Just now you saw, right? So just now you saw. You went into Azure portal. You went into disks. You created, you created our own disks, by the way. And these are the disks that I have, right? Special disk and new disk and all that. We have the disks. How does it look like, sir? Looks like a disk to you? Normal disk? Looks like a normal disk, correct? Perfect.
Yes.
So though it's looking like a normal disk to you, to me, to us, but the fact is behind every disk, sir, behind every disk, one storage account is there. So always remember, sir, if you want to store something in the cloud, Azure, first thing you have to create is what?
Storage account.
Storage account. So without understanding storage accounts, we can't go ahead. So behind the scenes, if you see, every virtual machine has a managed disk. The managed disk internal, if you look into the managed disk, go deep inside and see, sir, you will see one storage account. So again, small request, can we come back to storage account discussion? I wanted to take to the disk discussion, sir, but the fact is that disks also are present inside storage account. So always remember, sir, if you want to use anything in cloud, any storage in cloud, first thing you should do is search for. Sir, please bear patience. You will understand everything. First, let me complete the whole explanation of today, tomorrow, day after, 2-3 days it will take. So I'm going into storage accounts. So there are a lot of storage accounts that everybody creates. Even in any real environments or anywhere. Now I'm creating one storage account. Let me pick my sandbox subscription and then let me create a resource. Okay, KD- storage. Okay, wait, sir. Why? I already have an RG, right? I'll use the same RG. Done. So I'm creating one storage account. Sir, inside this storage account, what I will keep is my choice. So everyone, inside the storage account, what I will keep is my choice, or what you will keep is your choice. Do you want to keep a disk inside it? Keep a disk. Do you want to keep a file share inside it? Keep a file share inside it. Do you want to keep a blob inside it? Keep a blob inside it. Do you want a table? Do you want a queue? So, sir, point is first create storage account. Then we will decide what to keep inside. So anything you want to create, a disk, a file, a file share, or a blob, or a queue, or a table, the fundamental unit that you need is storage account. Without storage account, you cannot take a step forward. Any questions, sir? Okay, let's go to the demo. Again, I'm creating a storage account. So KD- storage account, some name I'm giving, -1 2 3 4 5. So what happened? Hyphens are not allowed, I think. Sorry. So do you notice why I'm giving some crazy name like this? Because if Shaida is creating one storage account, and Nagarjuna is creating one more storage account, and Rakesh is creating one more storage account, condition is anybody's storage accounts, names must be unique globally across the world. So if you are creating one storage account with some name, I can't create with that name. That's a condition. In my subscription, if I'm creating a VM with KD-VM1, Raghu also can create KD-VM1 in his machine. So because both are individual subscriptions. Storage accounts are not like that. Storage accounts are universal. So if Vijay is creating, Vijay must be cautious with the name. Nobody should have picked that name. So it should be unique. So give a storage account a name, sir. Then select region. I'm picking South India. Okay. There are two types of storage account, standard and premium. First, let me talk about standard storage account. These options I will tell you tomorrow, sir. Ignore it for today. Okay. So standard storage account, and I'm creating advanced. I'm going into advanced tab, not touching any options. Networking tab, not touching any options. I'll go directly create the storage account. So, sir, so technically what I gave is only name of the storage account, selected the region. I picked what type of storage account I want, standard or premium, and I'm clicking on review and create, sir. That's it. Any questions anybody have? So I'm creating a storage account, meaning a place where I can create hard disk, a place where I can create files, a place where I can create blobs, a place where I can create tables, a place where I can create queues. So anything. For what you will use, you will decide later. So first you are creating. So this is called as storage account. So couple of facts about storage account you should be knowing. So a couple of facts about storage account you should be knowing. So storage accounts are of two types, yes or no?
Yes.
Standard and premium. Standard supports HDD disks. Got it? HDD. Premium supports
SSD.
SSD disk. So you can pick. So now what I picked is HDD. Okay, done. Perfect. Then, sir, we'll talk about this again. Done. Moving on. Now, sir, every storage account has got 5 petabytes limit. 5 PB. So PB is a lot. PB. Petabytes is how much? 1024 gigabytes is 1 petabyte. So almost you can say 5000 TB.
Means 1000 TB is equal to 1 PB.
So 5000 TB I said.
Okay.
So this is a 4 TB hard disk. Example I'm saying, 4 TB. This is a 4 terabyte hard disk. That is 5000 hard disk. 5000 terabyte. Where is 4? Where is 5000? So how many times? Or you have a 1 terabyte hard disk. 5000 times. 5000 hard disks equal to 1 PB. So I'm just saying you because I want you to know that storage account storage space is like massive. 5 petabyte. Okay. So small question to all of you again. How many storage accounts you can create per region? It's an interview question, sir. These two are interview questions. Max size of a storage account, 5 PB. And how many storage accounts you can create per region? 250. This limit still remains the same, sir. So this part you ignore for now. Third one, I will talk about that in the further coming screens. Ignore this one. Ignore this one. Okay. Encryption, sir. The disks are encrypted by default, so no need to worry about it. So we'll stop here, sir. So why am I creating storage account? To create disk, to create file, to create table, to create queue, to create blobs. Without storage account, you can't do anything. So your first and fundamental step is creating storage account. Got it, sir? And storage account max capacity is 5 petabyte. In a region, 250 storage accounts can exist. So if I have another region, another 250 I can create there. So like that. I think we'll halt here, sir. So we'll cut. Yeah.
KD, per like an infrastructure prospect of the company, I think one account with one PB storage is sufficient, right? I think that will increase only when you have the who is keeping the blocks or whatever it is, because they require huge data.
So normally what we observe in Azure configurations are maybe sometimes they create one storage account, which will be more than enough. 5 petabyte is a lot. So one storage account should be sufficient. And some people sometimes production data, they keep it separately, and non-production data, they keep separately. So maybe 2 storage accounts or 3 storage accounts, depending on the company's planning. So yes, you're right. 5 petabyte is a lot. So for a company, normally one storage account would be sufficient. But if somebody is planning and storing data in different places, see, a company is global, sir. For example, a company is global. US data they want to keep in US. So US storage account will be available. They want to keep Singapore data in Singapore. Singapore storage account will be available. So yes, our organization can have multiple storage accounts also. 15, 20, 30, 50, depending on the locations they are located in. That is why 250 is the limit per region, and globally you can create more.
KD, can we go and check that attaching that existing hard drive?
Yes, sir. So we should go and verify once. It should show up, but if it is not showing up, then we'll see tomorrow. Continue it, sir. Go to disks. Sorry. Go to virtual machines. Virtual machines. Oops, again. There's a VM, sir. Test VM. Go to disks. Attach new disk. Still not coming up. Okay, done. So we'll see this tomorrow. So 1 minute, sir. Just give me a minute. Sometimes browser refresh also works. We have seen it in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is irritating. I know you all are smiling, but this is how it is, sir. So there you go. So done. That's it. So now caching, I have not. It's a lot of topics we have not discussed, by the way. Still, what is IOPS? We still did not discuss. What is throughput? We still did not discuss. What is caching? We still did not discuss. What is disk bursting? We still did not discuss. So from disk's point of view, topics are pending. But sir, let's go in a formatted structure. So first, let's talk about storage account. Inside storage account, how you can use storage accounts. First, we'll understand that architecture. Then we will go deep into disks and understand the disks. So other than that, our job is nothing great in storage. Understanding what and see, as an Azure admin, you are the person who will be responsible for giving storage to different teams. Application team will come and ask you, hey, my friend, can you add an extra disk? So you have to do that. So it's part of your job. And then again, somebody will ask for disk expansion, whether it's unique, whether it's a Windows machine, or it's a Linux machine. I showed you only on Windows machine, right? I did not show you on Linux machine. On Linux machine, how do we expand the disk? We'll add a disk, and there is a process. I will show you that. Who is Linux admin? Nalin, it's you, right, sir? Somebody has Linux knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. We have Nalin. So he'll guide us, when adding a new disk, what we should technically do. So we'll talk. We'll have some interesting conversations. But this is on Windows machine I showed today. Linux machine also, we will see that. But anyway, sir, all in all, 1 week, 3-4 days access should be more than enough for storage topic. And after that, we'll start networking. But hope it's clear. Again, today we only saw how to add a disk, how to add. Removing is easy, sir. Just delete it and click on save. Removal is not a great deal. Yeah. Delete option and just click on save. Nothing much. So adding a disk and removing a disk, expanding an existing disk we saw, adding an extra disk we saw. Disk management you have to do in Windows operating system. In Unix operating system, you have to do what's that, sir? Volume manager. We have to use the volume manager. There are some commands, list of commands we have to use and create a partition and then add that existing disk into Linux. But it's 1 minute. Real time, we don't have to do that. You know why? Because you will add the disk and tell them disk is added. The Windows team or Unix team should do that part. Windows team will add in Windows servers, Linux team will add in Linux servers. There's separate Linux team and Windows team also. So our job is provisioning storage in Azure and giving them. But nothing wrong in seeing once, right? So because what they are going to do, we should also know, right? The disk management command, Linux command, seeing once is good. Just see once. I'm not saying you have to practice it, but if you can practice, it's better. Okay, then. So just give me time till Wednesday to streamline the lab part. After that, we will be hitting on the labs and will be lab tracker and all that. Website is uploaded with the course curriculum in the front page. Please go and see. Content already, videos are uploaded. This also I'll upload. Any questions, please? For today,
250. Storage account for each subscriptions, right? Like for each company, for each account, right? The 250 storage accounts will be for each. Azure account, is it?
Correct, sir. So for example, this is my subscription now, right? In South India, I can create 250 storage accounts. Okay. In Central India, I can create another 250 storage accounts. In US, I can create another 250. So that's how, sir. Per subscription. But I have. Did you notice I have more subscriptions also? In my I have 11 subscriptions around.
Okay.
Meaning, see this. I'm creating a new disk. For example, I'm just saying. Okay. So I have multiple subscriptions. So got it. So I'm talking about per subscription. Per subscription in one region, 250 storage accounts.
Okay.
You all will, if you all create your Azure accounts, it will be free trial, right? Only free trial for you. So only one subscription you have in your accounts. Okay, then, Tanza, let's reconnect tomorrow. Let's converse more. Let's start more. We'll complete. It'll take a week plus. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, what's the
Same time, same place. Good night, Bindu. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
what's the good news that you want to share about?
Next week. Yeah, we'll tell short. And I should have not told about it, right? Now it will like itching, like what is that? So we'll talk about it. Okay then. Bye everyone.
Okay.
Bye, sir.